All right, hello and welcome to Fragments of Remains, session 11. Go around the table, see how each of you are doing tonight, how your week was. Let's start with you, Togo. How was your week?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm leaving tomorrow to go drive down to Charleston to go see my sister for Thanksgiving, but so far so good.
Nice. And you, Modar? How was your week?
It's been a good week. Things are looking good for the holidays. Things have been very busy. Trying my best not to spend too much money in video games for this sales week and all that good stuff. So trying to trying to behave myself. Uh, yeah, ready for the game tonight.
Valencia?
It's good. I had Thanksgiving early, so that was fun.
Ooh. Are you gonna have it again, or is it just like a one and done?
I'm gonna have turkey again because there's a lot of it.
Okay. Uh, Zanashi, how's your week?
Pretty good week, man. Can't really complain. This week's gonna be a good one too, with the extra days off.
Right. Been enjoying my PTO already since last Thursday. It's felt good. But without further ado, go ahead and do the recap from last session and then get into tonight's game. When we last left our adventurers, they were in the midst of a fierce battle with the Order of the Light on April 7th, just as the sun reached its peak in the clear blue sky above. With the fight in favor of the Order of the Light, the tides of battle, with the tides of battle in the Order of the Light's side, as more members of the Order begin making their way down the stairs outside of the headquarters. As Zanashi begins creeping towards death's door, some inspiration seems to pass along to each of you after examining her fighting spirit in the midst of combat. And as the tides of battle begin to slowly shift in our adventurer's favor, Dury has no other choice but to lay down his sword and shield in hopes to have his followers' lives spared by our adventurers. Our adventurers accept the surrender, but not without Zanashi removing Dury's left hand with a swift attack from her great axe. After tying up Dury, gaining back the replica of the doodad that was once stolen, and speaking with the second in command of the Order of Light, each of you begin making your way towards the Badger and Hellhound's headquarters, meeting up with Ingor once arriving. As the conversation with Ingor begins, some accommodations are requested by our adventurers, which leads Dury being released into the hands of the Badger and Hellhounds, and the party making their way into Ingor's office to discuss their rewards gained. Deciding to hand over the replica to Ingor as well, she does dismiss Zanashi's debt to the city of Moga, and does reward each of you greatly for your acts as well. When drinks and food are brought into the office, so is your reward: a hefty amount of gold coins, a few healing potions, and 2 scrolls. Once the conversation comes to a close, Ingor says her goodbyes to each of you, and the promise to send word to the Keen Spider's Tavern when the time to speak with Dury has come. Before leaving the headquarters, though, Modar seeks out Fistar in order to send a message to Rord requesting a response within a half hour. Once arriving back at the Keen Spider's Tavern, a large crowd is noticed already gathered, as Dilsey is hastily taking orders and serving drinks, but does take a moment to request a longer performance from Togo, and also indicating a guest to see him specifically. This guest is Nalvis, a friend of Togo's, and she is here at the tavern after hearing word of Togo's presence in the city. When with Togo introducing his friends to Nalvis, some stories and drinks are shared before Togo gets up on stage to give tonight's performance. During Togo's songs, Modar uses this time to look over the explosive support processor doodad and go over the information gained from the day during this time. Rord does reply to the previous message sent. However, during Togo's break, Zanashi approaches Togo as our halfling performer gets some fresh air outside the tavern and asks for Togo's help, as requested earlier that day. Zanashi, now invisible, makes her way to Milia Hubrick's smith shop, walking in and plunging a dagger into her skull. Oops, sorry, lost my space. Plunging a dagger into her skull and taking the shopkeep's life. As the night of April 7th grows old, nearing 11 p.m., the patrons of the tavern have begun taking their leave, each of you growing tired as well, deciding to get your rest and reconvene in the morning. So just double checking before we do our rest for the evening. I know that each of you have just leveled up, so it's not too pressing to get your rest for the night, since each of you have your HP and all that juicy stuff back. But if there's anything else that you'd like to take care of on the night of April the 7th before proceeding to April 8th, now would be your time.
I'm good.
Yeah.
We already took care of everything you needed.
Well, actually,
I am going to put my bed by the door. They're like literally shut the door and scoot my bed to where it's blocking the door from opening when I go to bed tonight.
what time is it?
It's a little late in the night. It's nearing 11. We'll say it's 10:45.
Oh, she would just go to bed.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure with everyone, like I said, before just pushing on till the next morning. But if everyone's good, then we'll move on. All right, your silence tells me you're ready. So, as the tavern begins to open up and have some of its patrons return in order to gain some morning meals and enjoy the breakfast for the day that Dilsey has prepared, each of you will hear the familiar voice of Dilsey shouting up from the bottom, just as you had every morning since being here. All right, breakfast is ready.
I'll head downstairs.
Same.
I'm not used to waking up like this. Usually I'm the one that says that breakfast is ready.
Yeah, Modar's headed downstairs for breakfast as well.
So, taking a quick survey around, you see that your normal table is open, and each of you joining up. Dilsey taking your orders. Well, anything I can get for you for this morning?
Same as usual, Dilsey. Same as usual.
Yes, the same as me. And I was wondering, perhaps, after your fires are done, do you have? Would it be possible for me to go through your fire pits and possibly pull some of the charcoal out before you finish your before you clean them out yourselves?
Aye, yeah, sure. Whatever you want.
I'll take the usual as well. I kind of look over at Togo. Said that didn't work as quite as the way I thought it would work, Togo, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
You know, with the leader of the Order of Light now in chains, and whenever there's a new leadership, I wonder if people like that blacksmith lady will reconsider their attitudes towards people of other races. I
Like-
hope we did some good in this town.
I mean, I hope so, but I feel like people like that are oftentimes set in their prejudiceness.
Yeah, but I have hope that they'll adapt to the society, even if they can't rid of their own grudges. But beside that, they might turn out to be lovely people in the future.
I agree. We should go back and apologize to that shopkeeper and see if she'll sell you something this time, Valencia.
That would be a good idea, I think. I'm definitely more resilient this time, so I'm sure I could, if something were to happen at least.
Well, Sanashi, I don't know if it's best for you to go there. Isn't she the one who had you arrested?
Well, perhaps you all can come with me to make sure that I don't get out of hand and that everything runs smoother.
It's fine. I can go there myself. I want to be brave about this.
Do tell her that I apologize for my rudeness.
I will. And she'll finish breakfast and begin heading out. I might be able to afford something too.
Thanks, Gavo.
With this new reward for me.
2 months.
Yes, yes, indeed.
I think we're all aware of the blatant foreshadowing.
Dun dun dun.
I am grinning from ear to ear right now.
All right, she leaves the other three behind and goes to the smith shop, the first blacksmith she went to.
Milia Hubrix. So,
Ah, yes, that name will be remembered.
it's pretty much just etched in stone in history now, but taking just about 10 minutes to make your way over there. It's, again, not too far away from the tavern. You'll notice that the door is closed. While all the other shops seem to be open, or at least having the tendencies of beginning to open, this one, dark inside, you see no plumes of smoke coming from the top, from the furnace that burns within. And it's just dark, closed door.
I knock on the door and go, "Hello, are you open?"
And you hear nothing.
That's a shame. And I go back to the tavern.
Well, are you sure? No, I'm just kidding. So, with finding the shop to be closed, you make your way back. And at this point, you would have seen Nelvis made her way downstairs and joined the others at the table. Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but these beds are quite uncomfortable.
I mean, it was better than we were sleeping on the ground for a couple weeks there, so I'll take it.
These beds are like heaven. They feel so good.
If you wished, I can give you tips on how to make your own bed and make it more comfortable and easier to sleep.
Yeah. If you think that would actually help, I was thinking of just possibly spending time in the dresser.
It
Sleep
would
on
be
my
no
clothes.
problem at all.
Spending time in the dresser.
Yes, I find my clothes to be quite comfortable and enough room.
Do shelves handle that kind of weight?
You just
Flying.
force them stay low to the ground, and if it does tip, it doesn't go too far. I have been trapped in a few. Sure, Togo has one as well.
True. You know I have. You trapped me in one once.
All right, that wasn't me.
okay.
Each of
We
you
can
can
go
see
with
her
that.
growing red in the face.
Is that what halflings do for fun? Trap each other in dressers?
Listen, if you could fit into any small space, wouldn't you fit yourself into any small space at one point or another? Whether it's to hide or to try and get something that is deep inside a small place, and if you're around a bunch of people who can do that, who would say,
I don't see this
shut
going
the
well.
lid of chests on top of people who are trying to get the gold coin at the bottom.
I sure wish Mogun was here to hear all this.
It
Small
does seem like
place,
the
deep inside of a small place. Oh my god.
it does seem like halflings have an advantage to cleaning in spaces that would be difficult for me to
You know,
reach.
I've never thought about it that way, but that is true.
I always think about these things.
You're so right.
By the way, thanks, Glenn.
Absolutely right, Alencia.
2 months as well.
Well, I believe we have accomplished most everything that we're looking to. Did we want to consider purchasing perhaps one or two steeds to pull our wagon?
That reminds me, the blacksmith happened to be closed, so I wasn't able to apologize. Perhaps we should check later in the evening.
Sounds like a good plan.
Maybe it's a religious holiday or something.
Maybe she's just closed for the day. Who knows?
Well, I mean, no one else was closed. I suppose she had some sickness or something.
Or she slept in late. I mean, like, it happens. I understand. Kind of stretch his hands back. Ugh.
Well, that we're not staying that long here anyway, so I suppose we'll check one last time and then head off.
Yes, I do have a few magic supplies that I would like to get my hands on before we leave.
And you had wanted to maybe see if you could talk to Dury if you could, right?
If possible, yes.
Okay.
Well, if you all plan to be heading out within the day, just please make sure to say goodbye before leaving. I don't know when I'll get to see you again, Togo.
I will definitely for sure. Are you going to be around the inn most of the day, or?
Yes, I might go peruse the city, but other than that, I should be here. I'm not going to Vala without a escort, and if need be, I'll just wait for each of you to make your way back.
Sounds like a plan. Did we want to, me and Zanashi go check out horses and mules or something to pull our cart? And, Modar, you said you had some purchases to go make, and Alencia, if you had any business you wanted to do, you could go do that, take care of that, or head with either me and Zanashi or Modar.
Yes, and I would suggest using the gold we collected as a group to possibly purchase the horses and feed for the animals. That might be a wise way to use that money.
Mm-hmm. And I'll look over at Zanashi and say, I'm volunteering you for this because I don't know that much about horses.
They shouldn't be that expensive. I'm sure I can use some of my share because I have everything I need.
So the initial prices, I did get some initial prices on the animals. The draft horses were going for Let me look through the notes. Oh yes, here they are. It was 540, or I'm sorry, uh, yes, 550 gold for a draft horse. Yes, that's what it was. Sorry. Uh, donkeys were 8 gold. They did have riding horses for 75 and ponies for 30, and some huge animals they called elephants for 200, but don't know if that would necessarily be practical for what we're looking to do.
Well, draft horses sound like the thing we need, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Or a mule.
Then I'll go get them.
If we want to keep traveling by cart, yes.
Didn't we sell most of the objects in the cart itself?
We did.
Did we? Oh,
thought we
right.
did.
We don't really need the cart.
Yeah, we
anymore.
sold most of the items. I think we sold most of everything for cash. It's whether or not. So if we wanted to get riding horses, we possibly could. Unless we want to walk there, that's completely up to you. We do have a long ways
300
to go.
gold is not a problem for me. So I shall retrieve the horses by the time we leave.
Who wants to
Horses.
hear a joke?
Sure.
What do you get when you cross a mule with an onion?
I'm scared to ask what.
How would that happen?
A piece of ass that'll bring a tear to your eye.
That's funny.
Well, on that note, I think I'm going to go browse the town now. Please, again, do come say goodbye before you leave.
Will do.
So with Novice, getting up and taking her leave, she'll make her way out of the tavern, closing the door behind her, and leaving you each to the rest of your day. So, as normal, if there's anything you'd like to ask these shopkeepers or anything, feel free. If not, I can just give you the prices. We can make rolls, see what everything comes out to be.
Yeah. So, do you want me to tell you what I'm looking for, or send you a message?
No, you can tell me.
I am looking for a copper. A brass brazier, and then so I was gonna collect charcoal there, and then some incense and herbs and things like that for my new spell, and then collect any other. And then probably go through and collect some more fine inks and papers and stuff like that. Probably spend. Let me see what I've got. Probably look to spend like another 150 gold on spell book, ink, and paper supplies.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. Pretty good roll for not having any modifiers. So your brazier will cost you 40 gold. And for your ink and paper, you said that you wanted to do 150 gold on it, correct?
Yes, yeah, 150 gold's worth. You just tell me what I pay for it.
Okay. It'll be 120. We'll just make it a round number, 125.
All right, and then yeah, and then I'll spend another 30 on herbs and spices and stuff like that.
So are you looking like herbs and spices like as spell components, right?
Yes, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Okay, because I was gonna say there are different kinds.
yeah. No, that particular spell, the charcoal, herbs, and what is incense, herbs and incenses, I guess is what it's. Yeah, it's 10 gold pieces worth that I have to go through every time I cast it. So
Yep. Each of those will cost you only 8 gold. And this is just including the increase, but then taking off your persuasion check afterwards.
all right, cool. So 8 per. So all right, gotcha.
And Alencia, you were gonna go check on the horses by yourself?
Yep.
Okay. And purchasing draft horses, correct?
Yeah. Riding horses.
Riding horses. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. Well, you see, he's here gonna I can knock it down a little bit, but it won't be what you're looking for. How about 70 apiece? But you will also need to look at buying feed and perhaps a couple bags. This is that manner as well.
I'll look to buy the feed as well.
Okay, yeah. It'll be 5 copper coins per day. How much are you looking for? It's about... These animals eat quite a lot. Probably go through 10 pounds a piece.
How easy? What's a manageable bulk size purchase to make between 4 people?
Was it just me, or was he cutting out for anybody else?
He was
Ew.
cutting out a little bit for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're like muted almost.
It might just be Discord,
What-
because I heard a little bit of static, and I think each of us were talking.
Nah, he was
What
messed up
would
for me
be
too.
the manageable bulk size amount between 4 people?
Let's see. 35 times the 4. Just take it down to 120 plus another 20, 240, 240 coin. So 10 pounds. Well, you're probably gonna need about 10 gold to take care of him for the week, but I'll knock it down a little bit for you. You already purchasing the horses. Want an upgrade on the saddle as well, you can do something of that nature, but if not, then I think it'll bring your total cost to, let's see, 70, the 140, 210, 280. Be about 300 gold.
Um, would the saddles benefit in any way?
Well, extra carrying space, maybe, and he'll show you one for an example. This one, this is what a lot of the guild members use, and what do you see right here? It's got these little buckles. You can put spears, javelins, quiver on the side for your arrows, in case you're trying to shoot and move at the same time.
Oh, I see. Then yes, I suppose I would take the whole package per horse.
Okay, then, with everything included, we'll just call it 300 gold even. And I think that's a fair deal.
That sounds like a fair price to me. And she'll count the gold out and give it to him.
And while you're counting the gold out, he'll get the horses equipped with the saddles. And that will be just double checking. Just the military ones. You wanted like the ones that the guild members used. So that will be 4 riding horses with 4 military saddles, and also a week's worth of food for each of them.
Yes.
Okay. So, just so you're aware, the animal food, like per the ration, is 10 pounds. And not that you're carrying it, but the saddle bags or the military bags that you have are 30 pounds apiece as well.
You said it's 10 pounds per day.
Mm-hmm. Animal feed per day runs at the approximate of 5 copper and is 10 pounds. But, I mean, overall, these horses that you have can carry quite a bit. Like I said, not that you have to worry about carrying them, but in case you wanted to write it down.
Oh, then yeah. By then I made the purchase and I say, thank you so much. We'll come collect those horses when it is our time to leave.
Yeah, it's gonna take me some time to get the food ready anyways. Be back at nightfall or at sunrise? What time are you planning on being back? No reason to load down these beasts the entire day.
Well, I suppose whichever would be more convenient for you.
Alright, I'll have everything ready to go, and then it should just take about 5-10 minutes to load up the feed bags on them whenever you're ready to pick them up. But if it's for any extended period of time, we'll have to talk about payment then, but for now, I'll just plan on seeing you within a day's time.
All right, then. I'll see you then. And she'll bow and leave.
Togo, Zanashi, do you have anything you'd like to take care of, or everyone's just gonna hang out until, I'm assuming everyone would like to go speak with Dury.
I'd like to go check out a shop as well, I guess.
Alright, what you looking for, bud?
Some new boots or or possibly gloves or something.
Yeah,
Just
so
perusing.
I mean, if you're interested in purchasing any, you can find a decent arraignment of boots. You can see that there's like riding boots, more of like a show style boot, something that you would wear out on like the town kind of thing. Um, but variety of prices as well. You can find anything ranging from uh, just 5 copper pieces all the way up to 5 silver pieces for the boots and gloves, respectively.
So you don't have any special boots?
None that would be of to a show, but and these nice dark ones here make a gala of yourself. Be the desire of anyone that laid eyes upon you.
Do I look like a city civilized woman?
I try not to judge.
Now, I'll look at another city. Thank you.
Very well, very well. Have a good day.
I'd go look for like threads that match my performer's outfits, so I could do repairs on it and stuff like that. But nothing really, nothing big.
Okay. Oop, wrong button. If you'd like to buy some threads and everything for like repairing your clothing, that will be 5 silver.
I'm sure I just pick that up at any kind of.
Yeah. I mean, there's some that like clothing stores that you can find some weaver's tools at, and things that would help you be able to like stitch up your clothing, and with only needing like the thread or whatever that you're looking for, you can get it at a reduced price. But if you need like the needles and things as well, then it'll just be 1 gold piece.
1 gold piece, then. I don't think I have the needles and stuff. That's all I would want.
Okay. If you want to make a persuasion check for it, feel free. You can try to knock down the price or take
I
the
doubt
chance
that they
of
would.
paying more.
I doubt they would go down much on threads and
Won't be
stuff
that much, but it all adds up.
Oh, why not?
Plus, I didn't want you to like just feel like I wasn't going to give you the opportunity.
Persuasion.
Natural 1. Oh. Oh yeah, they'll bump it down like a silver, but nothing major. But if each of you are done shopping, I'm assuming everyone would want to reconvene back at the tavern
Yes.
after splitting up. But with being in the city of Moga for a bit over a week, or a little over a week now, each of you would start to become a little bit more and more familiar, and with each of you also making your way out and about for the day, can each of you give me a perception check as well?
did not mean to double click that.
It's fine. I'll just take the lower one.
That's fine.
Okay. So Lincia, during your time out and about, especially needing to go closer to the southern gates where the stables reside, you would have noticed quite a bit of commotion going out amongst the guards along like the walls and on the gates, not being able to pick up anything that they said, but you can definitely see them moving at a quickened or in a quickened manner.
Alessia will assume the worst and immediately rush towards the tavern.
Alright, and then with that, as you make your way back in, Alencia, you will see that Zanashi and Modar have arrived back, and Togo is yet to make his way back to the tavern.
Is this everyone? Wait. Where's Togo?
I don't know. Why? What's up?
You don't know where he went?
I think he was going to go buy him a new dress or something.
Well, we need to find him, hurry, because something's happening at the southern gates, and I'm afraid
What's it
that
got to do with
it
us?
may be actually... Zanashi, please.
Don't worry.
No.
Not everything in this town has to do with us. We'll go look for him, but don't automatically go to the worst.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what it could be. And if they need our help right away, especially if it involves us, then... I mean...
But why would it involve us? Have you done something, Alencia? Are you hiding something from us?
There's no reason to get into that right now. That's
The nerve of Zanashi saying that.
Oh my god.
You played right into it.
let's not worry about anything like that. Let's we can go look for Togo. He can take care of himself. He's definitely proven that.
Fine, then I'm going to go see what's going on, and as fast as you can, please find out where Togo
Well-
is so that we may retrieve.
Is his friend still here at the pub? At the inn? He may be off with her.
So
Let her go, Modar.
Togo, taking a little bit of time needing to go to the farther markets to require your wares. Returning, we'll say, just a few moments after everyone else has reconvened. You open the tavern door to see Alencia proclaiming to the others at what would be for her, I guess, a slightly raised tone of voice.
Guys, everything alright? I
There
didn't
you
notice
are.
anything when I was out and about, correct?
Nope. The only
Okay.
one who met the secret score or did better was Alencia.
There you are. I heard something was happening at the southern gates, and it might be something that we feared.
Your people?
Yes.
I didn't hear any major commotions while I was out and about, but I wasn't necessarily near that gate, so
They have told us that they would let us know if any of your people were to, be spotted.
Well, if we can get there first, then that's better. I'm pretty sure I literally just heard it about 5 minutes ago. Please, you have to come see it for yourselves and make sure it's not what we fear.
Yes, let's go. We'll get it all taken care of. Don't you worry. Just calm yourself.
Of course.
I'm down.
She'll compose herself and
Sure, why
fast
not?
walk down the street.
I feel like Lindsay is hiding something, Togo. She's acting very irrational, stuttering a lot.
Huh. It'd be odd to hide something from the group.
Very.
Hold on one second. You guys got me cracking up.
Projection!
I wanted to be like, maybe Alencia murdered somebody.
I knew it! Just like those nasty drow
God.
always do. It's in their nature.
Can't help but just go a murdering people.
Needing to spend about 20-25 minutes making your way down to the southern gate. At this point, with Alencia kind of pointing out each of the guards making their way, each of you seeing the archers up on top of the wall making their way back and forth, all of their attention out on the outside. Neither have their bows drawn and pointed at the ready, but they are holding them in hand with quivers on their backs. You see that the gates are closed, and there is a slightly familiar face that each of you have seen in the Badger and Hellhounds headquarters from your time going in there and visiting, but other than being a familiar face, that's all that you know of the person.
So, does it look like the gates are closed because they're trying to keep someone out, or they're trying to keep people in?
You said they're facing out, so I'm assuming there's someone like approaching that they're.
The question is, are the gates normally opened, or did they open them to let us come through and then close them right behind us when we entered the city?
They opened them to let you come through after checking your wares, and then did close them, as they had done for each individual, which had caused the line to get in. But
So-
Togo is right. Their attention does seem to be on the outside. But with the familiar face giving a little bit of like orders, you assume to be in charge.
So, Alencia, maybe you should go ask what's going on.
I think I will, but I suddenly feel like I'm not the best person to ask that.
Okay. Togo,
I'll
do
go.
you mind?
I'll go.
I'll get
I'll-
us in trouble.
I'll walk up to the friendly face and kind of wave as I approach.
I'll give you a bit of a nod after laying eyes upon you, Togo, and you see the short white hair and hazel eyes that this male human has. As he's wearing a fine arrayment of clothing and jewelry, you can see that his both of his hands are well decorated in rings, and he seems to hold himself with a bit of a noble, noble-like manner.
Is he an older gentleman?
He does appear to be of slighter age, or slight older age.
And what time would you say it is?
With all the traveling going back and forth, at this point, I would say we are nearing 11 a.m. You guys getting
Okay.
out and about with your morning shopping, but with having to just take that passive time of going back and forth.
Wave as I approach and smile. Morning, sir. How you doing?
I've seen you before.
I think at the headquarters of the Badger and the Hellhound, right?
That's right, that's right. Sorry, if you're wishing to get out this way, it's gonna take some time. It's sealed shut.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, what's going on?
It seems that some spiders have decided to make a nest just on the other side of this door.
Spiders, you say? Uh, That's odd.
Yeah,
Do you guys have a lot of spiders around here, or?
aye. What's even weirder is that they seem to just spin the webs and vanish. Nothing's out there. They're just trying to clean it. Waiting for some oil and some fire to try to burn it away.
Thank you very much for your help.
Wait, I'm not there. Sorry.
I know,
Oh,
kind of.
I guess I can give you this as well. I have received word that Ingor is ready to see each of you today. It does seem that Dury, when you brought him in, had some complications with his injuries. He just needed
Blood
a bit
loss
more
due to
time
the
to
hand.
recover.
Probably.
Perhaps. Maybe even just traumatizing blow to the ego.
With one that big, I can't imagine it would be easy.
But nonetheless, from last I've heard, he's still pretty weak. We can carry on some sort of conversation now, even if it doesn't always make sense.
Okay. Well, that's good. Any idea when this might be cleared up?
As soon as the oil gets here, they'll be able to set fire to it, and it'll burn up just like that. So he snaps
So-
his fingers.
Okay, so probably not next couple hours, but by tomorrow you'd think it'd be all taken care of.
Oh, by the later this afternoon, I'd imagine it to be pulled away, at least enough to where we can open the doors and make our way outside.
Got it. Thank you, thank you. No, wave and
Day.
return to my companions.
So what did he have to say, Togo?
Are they in
It's,
trouble?
No, they just had a web on the southern gate. Apparently some spiders. But they said they're bringing in oil and they're going to try and burn it off, and it should be taken care of by this evening.
Oh, I hate
Also,
spiders.
same.
I-
Also, why am I blanking on her name now?
Inga.
Ingor, thank you. Ingor was wanting to meet with us at some point today.
I've never heard of using oil and fire to burn away spider webs. How much of it is there?
Enough to seal the gate.
What? Where are the spiders?
I don't know. They said that they weren't seeing they weren't seeing any spiders, just kind of throwing up a bunch of webs, but there's no more like around there. So it's very odd.
I'd burn them away too. Get rid of them little fuckers.
Are spiders normal? Is that normal for spiders to be in this area?
He was kind of just on whether they're normal or not, but he seemed kind of weirded out by the whole spiders appearing and putting up webs and then disappearing sort of thing. So
Uh,
whether they're super common here or not, this is weird.
You must be smoking something.
and it was specifically across the southern exit?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
That seems like there was some sort of purpose and what?
It would indeed. How many uh, exits are there to the city? Do we know?
I think 3: northern, southern, and eastern.
Yes, if you count the gates, yes, but there's you can leave the city by ship as well.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can make a history check. See what on earth this means.
All right, go for it.
Oh, maybe we want to.
I was just gonna say, do you want me to PM you, or do you just want me to tell you?
You can PM me.
Okay. Sorry for interrupting, Modar.
Well, maybe on our way to the Hellhound Gate, we can, or the Hellhounds, we can stop by the second gate here to the north and see if anything strange is going on there.
I think we all as players know what these spiders are, but I'm just trying to RP it.
Yeah.
Anyway, if there's another gate we can use, I'm sure we can just use that and then circle our way southern.
Oh yes, I'm sure that would not be a problem.
Right.
Maybe we should go all the way around that lake that's on your map.
And also, Ingor wanted to speak with us.
Yes, we probably should get that taken care of first before we do anything else.
I think I'm going to stay here.
And,
Very well.
not go to the
Oh,
Badger
Lindsay.
and the Hellhounds.
Is something wrong?
I remember something, and I'm trying to. I need to concentrate.
Well, let's go see what she wants.
Yes, indeed. And remember, Valencia, you are not alone here. We will help you with anything you need.
I hope so.
And as we make our way back, once we leave Alicia, I'm gonna start conversing with Modar and Togo. I'm worried about Alicia. She is acting very strange today.
How so? I mean, that was a little peculiar, but I don't know if it's something.
She didn't want to go to see Inger or whatever her name is. She
Mhm.
remembered something. I don't know. Just something seems off about her today.
Doesn't seem to be any stranger than any other day.
If I'm being honest, yeah.
Let's face it, she has her own priorities. And as much as we may try, I don't think any one of us will ever change that.
Agreed.
Can each of you roll me a perception check while you're making your way back towards the, or I guess not back, but towards the northern side on making your way towards the Badger and Hellhounds headquarters?
I guess since I was talking, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it seems that your concern is definitely lying with Valencia and not really paying much attention to your surroundings. Togo and Modar, you do notice a few who you now know to basically be the guild or faction members from the Badger and Hellhounds. You will see 6 of them acting as guards. 4 standing outside Amelia Hubrooks' smith shop, and 2 making their way in and out.
That's weird.
What's weird?
I'll point over. Bunch of guards at the smith shop over there.
Wonder what's going on. Maybe they're arresting her for being a racist.
I don't know. I'm done with that woman.
Or maybe somebody else had a fight with her and they're
Maybe she
investigating it.
needlessly called the guards on somebody else.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I would suggest we avoid whatever that is because don't need you behind bars again. I don't know if we have any more leverage to, or anything else to use as leverage to get you out. And who knows what it would cost us.
Agreed. I'm trying to be on my best behavior today.
That would be a first now, wouldn't it, Zanashi?
I did say trying. I can't make any promises.
After a little bit of time making your way through the city of Moga, eventually you will make it back to the headquarters. See the familiar face of the receptionist scribbling on his parchment with a quill, and as he picks his head up, laying his eyes on each of you. Ah, there. You all here to see Ingorsh? I heard you all might be stopping by today.
Yes, we were told that we may be able to speak with the prisoner that we brought in the other day.
Ah, yes. Well, I'm sure that you've heard about his injuries, but he does seem to be on the bit more up and up today. If you'd like, I can have some guards bring you down, and I will have Ingor brought down for each of you to let you all in.
What?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. You two. Can fetch Ingor, please. Tell him that their guests have arrived. And you, please escort them down to the cells. Just down this way down the stairs. As he gestures down the hall that you normally go down, Modar, to go speak with Fessler. With that, the 2 guards will take their point, leading each of you down the hall and eventually coming to a wooden door. And as they take out a ring of keys, kind of grabbing one, unlocking the door, pushing it open. You'll hear a bit of a creak with it. And they take some steps forward down the stairs. One begins to light a lantern during this time, shed some light, making sure that each of you can keep your footing. Right, down this way. Turns, taking the lead. And after descending about 15 to 20 feet, spiraling down, eventually coming to a bit of a damp stone location. Seeing the walls smooth with a little bit of water trickling over them, you can see 3 cells that lay before you. One with a hand, and then the other arm containing a stump as an individual leans against the cell doors. Oh. I can't let you go any farther till Ingor gets here.
Understood. Does he appear to be conscious?
From the where like his arms are kind of like resting out, it does seem that he does appear to be standing.
Well, it looks like you're still alive.
Just give a bit of a smile, and as he begins to open his mouth, one of the guards will say, "Please, wait a moment."
Togo will kind of lean back against the wall, put one foot up, hands behind his head, patiently waiting.
And I'm going to point at him, and I am going to whisper to him and use message and say that I do have your shield. I will return it to your people if you wish. You just need to nod if that's what you'd like.
You can see Dury's eyes kind of narrow, and as he presses his arms, pushing himself back into more of like a erect position, gives you a nod. Yes.
Very well. This did not need to come this far. All we had to do was talk about why you chose to steal what you'd already paid for instead of waiting for me to fix it.
Can you give me a perception check, please? There, Modar. Does that look cocked to anybody else, or is that just me?
It looks like it, yeah.
Why is it doing that lately? That's so weird. You'll see his eyes kind of like dart to the left of the room where the guards are standing, and he'll just shake his head slightly and then kind of lowering it down, facing the ground. And as he does, you'll begin to hear footsteps making their way down the stairs. 3 sets. You can assume it to be the 2 guards and Ingor. Well, I am quite surprised you all are here this late in the day. Well, although quite still early, I did expect you to make your way here at first light.
Well, we'd never, no one ever received, or no one told us that you were ready to receive us. So we went about some morning errands before one of your companions told us you were ready.
Huh. Guess Gillis never made his way there before going to the gates. That pompous asshole. Either way, do you wish to speak to this one about?
I would just like to understand why he stole what was rightfully his. It makes no sense. And the fact that he stole it before I had a chance to fix it makes our guild look worse, or makes our guild look incredibly bad, which I'm not a fan of.
Well, Dury? You know that I didn't steal shit. As he spits down at the ground at her feet.
Well, it was your man that snuck into my room and stole it, was it not?
No. That man that we killed. He was with her.
And what proof of that do you have?
I guess just my word. I would swear with my left hand. And then he kind of just looks over towards Yuzanashi. And then holds up a stump. You can see that the bandages are bloodied. Fresh blood.
I'll just grin. If you're not careful, you'll lose your right hand as well.
There's no need for that anymore, Zanashi.
He'll pull his hand back away from
He
the...
doesn't need it. I'm sure Ingor wouldn't mind.
Not at all. He could remove his head for all that I care.
Now, I don't believe there's any need for that. Last I knew, the only charge was theft. And I'm looking, he says he didn't do it, so I'd like to know what evidence he has. My understanding is your men do as you order. When I asked your people about proof that the man you executed was in fact a traitor, all they had was your word, and that's all you say you have. That does not seem like much of a justice system to me.
That was just plain out murder. I mean, what kind of person does that?
Precisely. I would even think that your tribal life, Sanashi, had more order than this man.
We had our ways. But we
Toga's
didn't,
sitting there wondering what Zanashi's ways were.
we didn't resort to murder amongst our own. I mean, if there was differences, there was ways that people could challenge one another, and then they could fight it out that way. But just to grab someone and murder them? No.
I have no issue with legal executions. It's a way that even moderately civilized civilizations have to accommodate the criminal every now and then, but there must be proof that the individual is a criminal before the execution takes place.
Well, thus far we have the cloak the thief was wearing, and also the brooch from the cloak as well. Brooch indicating that of the Order of Light, and if Dury only has his word, then I think more evidence is against him than on his side. Wouldn't you all agree?
It is indeed, which is why I'm here talking with him, to ask him what evidence he has to prove he did not do this.
So, let me get this straight. You think that I paid for this, and as he kind of just looks at Ingor, narrows his eyes, gift. As I had purchased this gift from your guild, and then I would be stupid enough to send a thief, wearing the brooch of my order. Well,
You're stupid enough to not put your weapon down and surrender to me and my friends. So yes, I think you're that stupid.
Zanashi, he did eventually actually do that.
Eventually. But he had to lose a bunch of his men first.
Majority of there were very few losses. It was unfortunate for the few that he did lose, but we did manage to only incapacitate a few permanently. But this is what doesn't make sense to me. You do all of this, you insist on fighting, you kill a man with no evidence to say he's a traitor, then you give yourself up for the rest in order to save them. If you're in this for yourself, you wouldn't have given up. You obviously care for your people. Now, if there is evidence to prove what you're saying, you just need to let me know.
I think the evidence is in the story itself. I don't have anything to give you to prove my innocence, because innocence is not needed to be proven. You, half-orc, you may think that I'm stupid enough to stand trying to go blow for blow with such a combatant as yourself. But let me ask you this. If a formidable foe were to ever step to you, would you lay down your axe so quickly, fearing for your friends' lives? As he gestures to the other three.
I would never put my weapon down.
And if you did, in knowing that...
There is no if about it. I would die before I put my weapon down.
There stands the difference between us. Perhaps I should have just fallen to your axe. Yes, perhaps that might be a little bit more convenient for you. Huh, Dury? Little more swift than being hung to death, yes?
Excuse me, but
If he fails the trial, of course, Modar.
since when is theft a hanging offense?
I would assume that they have more
Yes.
grievances, given that they were in a bit of a civil war.
Yeah, so you know how many of my men and women that you've killed?
If what is going on is an illegal act, why are you just sitting over here not doing anything about it? That's what doesn't make sense to me.
I'm sure you've seen the city. Each battle is with heavy loss. And even if Dury is quick to pick up his arms and strike, I'm a little more meticulous in my movements. And, well, having each of you here as well, especially with this one's troubles, it seemed as if I could perhaps play to that benefit a bit. And give you a nice reward for risking your lives while I recoup my men. Make sure that their wounds are tended to before sending them back into battle.
Understood. And Derry, just out of curiosity, the device you did purchase, do you have the means to power it within your encampment?
It was supposed to come completed. That's all I know.
So Noah, you didn't have any means to repower it once it was used. It was a one-off and done type of thing for you.
If it contained the power that it said it did, then... Well, I don't even know why in the hell I'm even telling you. But I didn't expect to need it any longer.
Understood. Well, thank you very much. I believe I have the information that I need, and it will be taken care of. Don't you worry, Dury.
I'll give you a bit of a puzzled look as you say that, Modar. Well then, there's nothing else that I can do for each of you here. I would like to remove myself from this remove this vermin from my sight and get more of to a civilized living upstairs.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, the boss.
And can each of you roll me a d20, please, as you make your way out? Ingor leading the way. Just need one from Alencia.
Oh,
Valencia's not there. Oh,
Oh, that's right. Totally forgot. No, they're right. You're not there. Big derp on my part. So, Modar, with you exchanging your last little bit of words as the rest begin to take their leave, can you give me, well, we'll say this. As you begin to turn, you do catch out of the corner of your eye Dury kind of reaching out his arm to try to grasp you. Do you let it happen, or are you going to resist?
I'm gonna let it happen.
As he grabs you, he'll pull you closer. Listen, if you leave me here, I'm dead within days. As soon as that she gets the trial, hang from the walls.
And I'll just point at him and whisper, "Your men will have the device by the end of the day."
He'll give you like a little bit of a nod, then releasing your arm, then moving away from the cell door. You can see him take a seat upon his bunk. As you turn and make your way out. As each of you return to the main floor above, with Ingor leading the way, the guards in front of her, she'll turn to each of you as you come up the steps, and kind of like holding the door for each of you, and say, well, I don't know your intentions, if you'd wish to stay for perhaps another few days or not, but if not, I do have some news you might be interested in.
News? What type of news is that?
Well, to be honest, I did find it a bit odd that your drow friend wasn't with you, but perhaps that's for some reason. Either way, we had some reports of drow being amongst the city and outside the city walls. Some were repelled, and the northern and eastern sides, but it seems that the southern gate had been entangled in webs, sealing it shut until they can be burned away. But also, with each of you staying at the Keen Spider's Tavern, I thought you might find it interesting to know that there have been reports of Amelia Hubrick, the blacksmith, seems to have lost her life. We expect it to be that of the drow as well, but with them striking so close and your friend meaning so much to you, I thought you might find it of some interest.
Well, I promise you this, that our drow friend has left that life behind her, and with many scars. She is only out to protect the weak and make sure that the drow do not hurt anybody if she can see to it.
Well, I will take your word for it. Just do be careful. I would hope that with the news of Dury being removed from his little bit of power he had in the city, then we may be able to find peace with the drow. And stop them from
Ingor,
harming us.
did that lady have family?
None here. He was from Ravenshaw. Traveled quite far, trying to find a honest living, I guess you could say. You see, Ravenshaw is, well, a bit more shady. Probably a bit safer here than he would be there.
Ravenshaw.
Ravenshaw. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that.
No, it's far on the east coast of Elista. You'd have to travel many weeks by foot, maybe months, even longer, to be exact. Definitely a long time by horse. Your best bet of travel is by ship, although it still take quite a while as well.
Ship to the east coast. You'd have to sail around the peninsula for that, now wouldn't you?
Yes, down to the south is the best as you circle past Raisk and then continue heading along the Horn, going past Dragon, then up north following the coast all the way to Ravenshaw.
If her family comes for her funeral or whatever, please offer my condolences.
Do you send your regards?
No one deserves an unexpected death.
Too true.
Well, I won't be expecting anyone from that distance. If judging by her age, then I would say that her parents are quite old as well. And with that in mind, the roads may not be safe for ones creeping up in years.
True. Well, very sorry for the loss. Does that mean you're gonna be short on someone for blacksmiths in the city? Was she the only skilled blacksmith you had?
She was quite skilled, yes. We won't have one of anyone that can fill her shoes, but we still have some blacksmiths in town, and worst comes to worst, we can always just pull in some wares from maybe Khaled or Kielam, maybe even Haywood. Needless to say, if there's a spot open here with for a skilled blacksmith such as Melia was, then it will be filled quite quickly, I can assure you that.
Yes, indeed. Well, um, I believe we will be headed south within the next day or so. Would you have any advice for any travelers heading in that direction?
No. I can tell you that Mito has its walls closed off to most of anyone else, quite as paranoid as we are here. Well, I guess not as much anymore, but as we were. But with that in mind, knowing the gifts that most of you possess, I would not use any of your arcane magic when there. I'm sure you're well aware of such a thing, but spells being used within the city limits of Mito and in most of the cities and villages of Platini is punishable by death. Which is why a lot of people with our gifts tend to flee that area, finding homes here and in Lales.
So, what kind of jobs did you have?
For blacksmithing jobs?
No, she said she had, if we were going to stick around, that she might have some stuff for us.
Oh no, I was curious if you'd wish to just see the proceedings of the court, but I don't find that to be any interest of yours.
Hmm.
Unless I'm mistaken.
Uh, we will. It is possible, but we shall see. We do have our own things that we must accomplish. What did you say the other cities were around Mito that had these same rules about magic?
Well, the villages in Platini, that's the name of the country that these cities and villages reside in, but each of the villages within those borders, they all practically hold the same law. But Mito and Raisk being of the most importance, if probably won't run into too much trouble in the smaller villages, especially
Is
when
it
getting near Raisk and finding the tribes.
So you say Rice follows the same rules as Mito?
That is correct.
Very interesting. Well, thank you for the information.
Well, I wish you all a good day, and if there's anything I can do for any of you before you leave, please do let me know.
I will. We will.
And she'll kind of give a bit of a curtsy to each of you, nodding her head, and thank you all again. And turn and take her leave. Leaving each of you in front of the main door to make your way out, or in case you wanted to do anything else here.
No, I don't have anything I need to do inside the halls here. I'm ready to leave.
Yeah,
Same.
me too.
Okay, so making your way out and back to the busy streets of Moga.
Yeah.
Guards will kind of shut the doors behind you, taking their stances, making sure everything's, well protected, and you can make your way. So, you have left Valencia behind, but there was also a notion of perhaps another plan that Modar is scheming up. And with that, go ahead and take a small break. get back to it here shortly. You guys need what? No more. You guys are normally fairly quick. It's usually me that you're waiting on, so no more than 5 minutes.
Sounds
Mhm.
good.
I'm usually the slow one in this one, but we'll be right back.
Nah, she doesn't get to know.
All right, and we're back. So each of you, well, minus Alencia, have left the Badger and Hellhounds headquarters and are making your way to where next?
Well, yeah, we get to Alencia and anything going on over here?
Alencia, during your time, they would have brought in the oil and begun burning things away, and you would have seen like the glow from the fire on the other side and a bit of like some black smoke that quickly dissipates.
And Alencia was just pacing around the south gate, but she'll see them and go. I was just keeping track of the progress on the web, because if it can truly be done by the end of this afternoon, then perhaps we can leave as soon as possible.
Ah, yes, we have. I have one more thing that I must do before we leave. So, I need to go back to the inn and receive and pick up the shield and bring it back to the Order of the Light's headquarters.
Do we want to go get the horses ready while you do that?
I can do that.
You know where it's at, Alencia. Why don't I go with you and help you get that ready?
Sure. Well, it would be easier if taking care of the horses was the last thing we did before we left, so...
Well, I think we were planning on leaving afterwards.
Okay, well, it depends on how long Moda is going to take.
You want to wait till the morning to leave? You want to leave now?
Well, we should leave once the web is clear.
If we're in a hurry to get out, that's no problem of mine.
What time of day is it?
At this point, with going back and forth and all the traveling that you guys have done, it will be nearing 12:30 in the afternoon.
12:30, then it's about an hour or so, hour and a half there for me to talk, hour and a half back. So we'd be looking at leaving like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, if not later.
I would swing by the inn to say bye to my friend and before heading out, but
Yes, well, I don't... Togo, do you think you have one more performance in you? If we get everything taken care of tonight, we can leave in the morning. That way we get a full night's ride away from this place. Unless, Alencia, you believe we really should leave before tonight's over with. They did talk about drow attacks on the north and east gates.
Drow attacks?
they also
Really?
think that maybe the drow came in and killed a couple people last night. The blacksmith you tried to visit today? Apparently she died last night.
What?
Apparently.
Yes, they think a drow may have done it. Did you enter the facility?
Wait. No, I didn't do it.
No,
I
nobody here is
swear.
accusing you of that, but we need to make sure that if anybody does come asking, that I want to know before anybody asks questions. Did you go inside the building? That's all I'm asking you right now.
The last time I saw her is when Zanasha got arrested.
Yes, I understand
Are
that.
you sure?
I'm not saying you did
Yes.
anything. My question was, did you go inside the building when you went there earlier today?
Oh, no, I just knocked.
All
There was
right.
no answer.
Then if anybody saw you, they would have seen you knock on the door and walk away. No one would have seen you go inside and check around and come out, correct?
Yeah, but drow
Then
are known to move at night, and I'm just worried that
well,
people
you
will
were
still assume stuff.
in the inn all night long, taking care of patrons, correct?
I mean, I have you all to account for that, but
Exactly,
nothing else.
and half the town. Thanks to Togo, everybody in the town saw you, so you have nothing to fear if it, from anything there.
More importantly, did the drow already attack?
They said that they had fended off attacks on the walls, and then the spider web stuff happened on the southern wall. Does any of that mean anything to you?
Well, the webs are certainly related to the drow. I just never seen it in person before, but I surely they're not stopping there, are they?
Do you know anything about drow battle tactics?
I mean, they're definitely not ferocious like half orcs, but I mean they tend to do a lot of swift movements and hiding in the shadows.
All right, that's fine. Well, I guess we will get ready. So, Togo, do you think you have one more night's worth of performance in you? Unless, Valencia, you think we need to leave this evening.
I mean, the sooner we leave, the more safe it will be.
I'm fine to play, but at the end of the day, we're not getting paid for me to play, so we're just kind of staying neutral. And
Fair enough.
a
Then
few hours of travel wouldn't hurt us if we can make it, but I wouldn't say we have to kill ourselves if it gets late. Maybe we decide not
well,
to.
then definitely get the horses ready. We'll plan on leaving right now. Get the horses ready, and if that does change, we'll have to pay for a night for the horses to stay, I suppose. Oh, the other thing is the cart. Perhaps the horses, the people we bought the horses from, we could sell them the cart. They may be interested in it. We don't need it anymore.
It's a
Sure.
good idea.
I'll take care of both of that.
All right. Well, Togo, you're more than welcome to come with me unless you'd like to take care of things with Alencia and get all that straightened away.
I'll go with Alencia and swing by the inn. Talk to swing by the inn and
Novice or Dilsey?
Dilsey, tell him our plan.
All right, sounds
And
good.
Zanashi?
I'll go to the tavern as well.
All right. So with the three of you going to the tavern to take care of that, and Modar, you are going to head towards.
I'm going to the
things that-
tavern. I'm going to the tavern to pick up the shield, and
then out to go take care of your personal affairs.
and then go out to take care of my personal affairs with the Light of the Order of the Light.
Got it. So, as each of you make your way back to the tavern, with it being pointed out before, Alencia, as you look over, you will see that the door on Milia Hubrix's blacksmith shop is open, and there seems to just be two guards standing outside at this point, and you don't see anything else. But making your way back to the tavern, You'll see the familiar face of Dilsey as you walk in. What can I do you for?
We may or may not be leaving this afternoon. I'm not sure if I'll be performing tonight.
No, Togo, you have to stay. Dilsey make tons of coin off of you. More coin than Dilsey ever see before.
If I don't leave tonight, we'll be leaving tomorrow, so I'm sorry, but if we come back through, I will definitely come and stay at your wonderful establishment.
Okay, which of you would be willing to take some gold in exchange for Mr. Togo?
How much are we talking?
Excuse me, sir. Are you suggesting that he is our slave?
Oh, I will pay you for his usefulness. And,
How much gold are you talking about?
Dilseed can offer 30 gold.
Togo will look slightly offended. Only 30 gold for me?
That's all
31,
Dilseed
you got a
got.
deal. 31 gold and you got a deal.
Elbows and Nashi.
Give me rest a day. Dilsey gets 1 more
I
gold.
just kind of wink at you and smile.
I'm afraid there is no price.
Togo.
No.
Yeah, Togo's not for sale.
Okay, your friend that's here, the halfling girl, she sing like that every night? Maybe you can have her give performance here. Yeah?
Talk to her about it. I don't know if she would be interested in that, but
Maybe you put in good word for Dilsey.
put in a good word.
Was she injured?
Yes.
She had some sort of
Yeah.
injury, correct? Well, she did appear to have a slight injury, Dilgy. If you were able to perhaps find someone to mend her wounds, it may put her in your debt.
Okay, that's a good idea. Now, Dilsey need to find somebody to heal the wounds, and Dilsey have new halfling.
It sounds like she's going to be staying around here for at least a little bit, though, so.
Well, then even better. And Dilsey'd keep her here for as long as she'd want. If she as good as you.
Oh, I don't know if anyone's as good as me, Dilsey.
That's right. 35 gold for the halfling. Dilsey gets 5 more gold by end of day, and then Togo you stay.
I'm not for sale, Dilsey, but I appreciate the gesture.
Fine.
I'm sure we'll come back through here eventually.
Okay, well, Dilsey have to ask, right?
I know.
Well, whatever Dilsey can do for you, you let Dilsey know. And if you would come back anytime soon, Dilsey be happy. Dilsey also have to tell you about your cart and things outside.
What cart? What are you talking about?
Our
Yeah.
cart that we brought in.
Yeah, and that, like, moose, elk thing.
Yes, the moose, yes.
Yeah. I think one day you think Dilsey cook moose, but Dilsey not cook moose. Anyways, Dilsey'd be taking care of moose and making sure the cart well protected. You'll find everything good.
Thank you, Dilsey. I appreciate it.
Well, you did pay Dilsey for the service, and Dilsey had come through.
We can always trust good old Dilsey. but I'll let you know closer to showtime, and depending on the time that we want to head out, maybe I play a short show and then we leave, or I don't know. I'll let you know what we're doing and as we find out.
Dilsey plan on having halfling girl give song instead.
I would talk to her about that before planning on having her sing, but
Well, if she say yes, and when she come back, then Dilsey talk to her.
okay.
But you put in good word for Dilsey.
I will definitely put in a good word to Dilsey.
Well. I must be getting back to serving these drinks and stuff. If y'all don't want anything, then there's no point for me to be standing here bugging you. So, Dilsey'd go.
Have a good one, Dilsey.
Thank you for all you've done.
Give you like one of those like little winks and finger gun motions at you, Alencia. And then as he walks away saying, and if you ever need another job, you'd come work for Dilsey too.
I will be happy to assist.
Never seen someone carry so many drinks at one time. Like, oh, yes, Dilsey needs to be able to do that one day, but he'll just kind of grumble as he walks away.
It takes many years of practice.
Well, with that, you've relayed your plans to Dilsey for the rest of your day. You may have forgotten, but Dilsey is not, about your moose and your cart that you had brought into Moga over a week ago. And there's very little to left to do here. So, Modar, for you, as you go collect the shield and everything else that you're looking to get done for your personal affairs, I think that's the last thing we need to wrap up before you guys leave, correct? And then the gold exchange for the cart and I would assume the moose if you don't want to keep it.
That is Zanashi's moose. Are we walking it out and let it going, or are we selling it off?
Why would you want to sell my moose?
Like gold?
Like I said, as far as Modar's
mean-
concerned, it's his friend.
Why are you so willing to sell Togo but not the moose?
Moose can pull things. I completely understand the argument or the logic there.
Yeah, but
I'm not good at pulling things.
it was a joke about selling Togo.
Oh. My apologies. I'm used to serious propositions.
All good, Alencia.
Alright, so Modar, are you planning on going alone? While the rest take care of what they had said earlier?
Yeah, if they're doing their thing, then I'm going by myself.
Okay, so as you make your way out of the Keen Spider's Tavern and head off towards the, the scattered forces of the Order of Light.
I will have his shield strapped to my back.
All right, and then after passing your way through like the war-torn areas of the city, taking about an hour to get there. Once arriving, you'll see that there is the cross there with a little bit of blood stain that remains in front of the door, and you can see a little bits of blood stains upon the cross, on the stairs, and then also the ground from the battle that just took place the previous day. The doors are closed, but you do see a couple of the Order of Light's members standing guard. As you approach, you'll see them both grasp their spears and stand at the ready. Say, "Hold! Look, we don't want any more trouble."
I'm not here to fight. I'm here to return something. And I'll take the shield off my back and present it to them. I would like to present this shield to whoever is currently in charge.
Well,
I have spoken with Dury.
you stay where you are. Keep your hands still. Hold on to that shield. You keep an eye on him. If anything happens, well, just yell if you can. I don't know. And you'll see the other quite shaken and holding his spear as it's just like trembling in his hands as the other leaves the door open. One of the doors going inside. You stay right there. You heard him.
I'm not the one moving right now.
I'm not either. Which he obviously more than clearly is, which you can see just quite easily.
And I'm just smirking and smiling at him. If you remember, I was not the one who attacked before. I merely defended myself.
And after a very awkward standoff between you and this one other guard, a couple of other members of the Order of Light will begin to trickle out. And then this is when you will see the individual that had claimed himself to be the second in charge of the Order of Light. And quite overweight gentleman with the gray hair and hazel eyes makes his way out. And yeah. They said that you had something for me.
I do, and I would like to speak with you inside in private if possible. I did have a chance to speak with Dury today.
He'll look over his shoulder and look back towards you and then say, I think where we're standing is just fine.
I promise you that it will be well worth your while if we can speak in private.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. We'll stay out on the streets, but you're not making your way inside. And then he'll give like a little bit of nod over his shoulder, and you'll see a couple of the guards retreat back in. And as the door closes, only the two remain that had stood there before.
All right, well, okay. I'm going to slowly walk up to him.
He'll begin approaching you as you begin walking up as well.
Yeah. And I will, with the shield in hand, like bring it to offer it to him. And as I do, I open my robe and he'll see the device within my robe. And I'm going to look at him and say, like I said, I do have business to conduct with you if we can speak in private. And I will start to, I would like to return your shield and possibly figure out a way to make what my guild, or what was wronged with you by my guild, and provide you the service that you should have received in the first place.
when you begin to open the robes revealing the doodad, you'll see the guards behind him kind of take more of like a readied stance, and then he'll put his hand up as you continue explaining the situation, and it gives you a bit of like a cocked eyebrow look, and
And
laying
and
his
as
eyes upon it. Go ahead.
and as I do see him, I will use message and say, in the back of his mind, Dury wishes me to deliver the device to you.
All right then. Let's make our way inside then. My gut tells me that this isn't a good idea, but grasping at whatever we can.
As I told your companions out here, I was never the aggressor in any situation we were involved in. I merely defended myself after I was attacked.
Well, we can let the past be the past, but please, let's make our way in. And as he begins to turn, making his way towards the doors, you'll see one of the members of the Order of Light open them as he makes his approach. Gives you a look over his shoulder as he makes his way up the steps. You coming?
And I'll follow him in.
Make your way inside. Being met with a very similar aspect of the Badger and Hellhounds headquarters, this one being a bit more vibrantly decorated with, instead of having such dark colors, you will see the colors of the furniture and banners that have preceded the Order of Light to be just quite bright and pearlescent in their manners, repeating that same kind of material process through the entire headquarters. Well, my office is just down this way.
Very well.
As you follow him along, he will lead you to the office, opening the door, gesturing you in first.
I'll go in without any. I'll go in first, not a problem.
And he'll follow, closing the door. Before you, you can see a few seats and a small table with some empty tankards and a jug containing some sort of refreshment, as far as you know. And on the other side, a couple of other chairs, and he'll say, sorry for the mess, but after everything that happened yesterday, then, well, I'm sure you can assume that morale is quite low here.
I can only imagine. I'm very sorry about that, but it was definitely a very large misunderstanding that went out of hand way too quickly.
Yes, from my point of view, I do feel that both sides got out of hand quite quickly, but each having their own blame. But nonetheless, you said that you'd have some good news, that you had spoke to Dury, which is good news in itself. Surprised that he's even still alive.
Yes, he is. He is currently alive. I was told that he would receive a trial and hang in a few days. I was perhaps with this, if you have anybody that can use it, I'll take the device and put it on his desk under the with the shield. Perhaps with these two items, you may be able to prevent that from happening.
He said he's to hang in 3 days. Well, I'll be surprised if he lives through the night.
They seem to want us to stick around to watch him hang, but I'll be honest, I'm not sure if we will do that. I did my last words to him were I told him that I would make sure that his people received this, and you have. It was never my intention to keep you from getting it. I simply wanted to make sure that it worked, and that well, let's just say that to outsiders coming in, you and your people do not seem to be on the lawful side of things.
Well, I can understand how some may take that point of view, but we've had many troubles with, well, not just other races, but mainly the Drow. Seem to have taken quite a liking to the city of Moga for whatever reason.
Well, it seems like you've got quite a few humans within this city that have no problem destroying it either.
You're right. Well,
And I've definitely seen more humans destroying this city in the last few days I've been here than I have Drow.
the only thing I can say is, regardless for the claim of power, people will find ways to make their decisions seem just.
Very true, and an enemy is, when looking to invade someplace, is always looking to, shall we say, divide the inhabitants within before the invasion begins. That may be what I would do if I was looking to invade a city.
Are you implying something?
I'm saying that you're all too busy fighting yourselves to worry about what's coming from the outside of this city. Just within the last few days, the Drow have been attacking the walls. They've laid traps on the outside of your city. They're burning off webs. Only half of you are currently defending it from that, while the other half of you decide to fight amongst yourselves. This seems foolish.
Well, perhaps a point of view from someone on an outside perspective is more rewarding than not. Well, nonetheless, first things first, he'll kind of grab the shield and the item from the table. Say, well, we don't have any that can use the shield. We have a couple that may be able to use this. So he holds up the doodad. But you've given me a lot to think about. What is your name? I'm sure the snow hair is taken quite a liking to you. The knowledge that you seem to obtain.
I try to learn everything that I can as I travel and as I experience things. My name is Modar.
He'll stretch his arm out to you, like in like a handshaking format, and say, "My name is Tur."
Nice to meet you, Ter, and I'll reach out and shake his hand.
The only thing I can say is thank you. I'm glad that you've brought this to us, and I'm sure you'll find the payment once returning to Vala to be more than significant. But
And
I
I
hope
will let you. Oh, sorry.
I was
Don't
gonna
mean to
just
cut you
say
off.
I hope to your leader that this is sufficient, but under the circumstances, I do hope that this would be okay. You have the tab. I was told I needed to sign it, leave some sort of marking that this has been completed.
I'll go through. If I've got something, I'll hand it to him to sign. I don't know. I would have grabbed anything that was in the stuff that looked like it may have been. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm not the original. We did find this on the road. It was attacked. The caravan that originally brought this was attacked. So you are lucky that it made it this far, anyways. And we came across the caravan and not just some random looters.
But you do have the item that he's looking for, and that you had found on the journey down this way, and just so that you're aware of it, and so like when you do present it, you will put a little signature on there for you, indicating the task completion.
Thank you. And I did want to let you know that there is a replica in the city that the Badger and Hellhound do currently have. It does not work. Not sure if it ever will, but that can be our little secret.
And they won't be expecting anything from our end quite so powerful. It's good. Well,
As long as no spies find out you have it. Just be careful. Apparently, you've had issues with that in the past.
it's
Make sure you
I will
trust
actually
anybody
not
that
speak
you.
of this to anybody. I will use its power for my own benefit and in freeing Dury. But no one shall know about this then. You do bring up another good point.
Very well. And I do have one thing I would like to ask you. Once you have used the device and it no longer holds any usefulness to you, if I do come back through the area, would you mind selling it to me?
Look, if everything goes according to plan for our end, you can just have the fucking thing.
I will hold you to that if I ever make it back. And with that, I'll just good day and walk away.
Togo, Alencia, and Zanashi, while you're taking care of selling the cart and moose question mark, that is, if that's actually going to be for sale, but if not,
I think
just
that's
let
up
me
to
know.
Zanashi.
Why y'all want to sell my moose?
They did buy you a horse.
Because without the cart, then the moose usually comes with it.
I mean, like, we could just let the moose go, too. Like, we don't have to sell him.
But I could ride the moose.
I don't know if the moose can handle something like that.
Moose could pull the cart. I think it's safe to assume that the moose could carry Zanashi without pulling the cart, of course.
Well, there's. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of animals that can pull, but less that can hold up a person, much less.
Have you
all
ever
that
seen
weight.
how big a moose is?
I mean, just so you're aware, like a donkey or a mule can carry 420 pounds. Smaller things that maybe Togo could ride, like a massive or like a war pony, those are around 200.
Well, if
The mounts can carry a lot.
I'm sure, but if Zanashi can find a way to have a moose let her ride it, I mean, it'd probably
Oh yeah.
take a while, but
Well, um, well, I don't think that you know this, but as like a player, she can speak with the animal, essentially.
right.
Yeah.
Well, if you'd rather have a moose compared to a riding horse, I mean, we would have to keep pace with you if the moose is not fast enough.
I'm pretty sure my moose is fast as a horse.
I would like to see this happen, personally. Do you want to keep it? I
Yes.
I think
do.
Look.
Sanashi wants to keep the moose.
um,
All right.
with that in mind, whoever would like to take the point on selling the cart, can you give me a persuasion check? If any of you also have proficiency in it, uh, make your roll as well, or give the lead the advantage. Okay, so I guess the lead is going to be Togo with the +7.
I don't have proficiency.
All right, and then I'm guessing Zanashi, you don't either.
And what skill was it again?
Persuasion.
Oh no, I don't. I'm more of an intimidator.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but I just wanted to double check. Togo, I mean, you have a really good modifier, and it wasn't that bad of a roll overall either. And with that in mind, he will give you 12 gold in exchange for your cart.
I think that's a probably fair trade.
Yeah, it's gonna need some repairs here and here, but I can take it and sell it. Not a problem.
Something perfect. Where we're going, we don't need carts.
Okay. And then after getting that taken care of, I will also point out that he will mention to you, Togo, as like while you're selling the cart, I would guess that Alencia is going to have the horses readied as well in preparation.
Yeah, apparently I will change the deal to 3 horses. And wondering what the price might change to that.
If you just wish to exchange the horse, still assuming that you would need the saddle and the feed as well, in case there's any situation where they can't graze for any overextended period of time, yada yada yada, he will buy it back, but very reluctantly. So can you roll me a persuasion check as well?
Well,
Shit.
If
Never mind.
Alencia is rolling, can I assist with this since I am proficient in it?
Yeah, I'll allow that one.
Because that would be a deal that they made, so I'm assuming she would be the
Correct.
one rolling for it, not me.
100%.
That advantage helped a lot.
I guess. Yeah, he'll buy it back, and once you like explain the situation of it being like, look, I was under the assumption that she was gonna want to sell the moose, like that sort of thing. He'll just say, all right, I'll take the horse back. I'll give you your gold, but the saddle and everything you're gonna still need, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And he will give you 75 gold back. or
All
I
right.
believe it was 70 gold that you had bought him for.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll double check that, but he'll return the money.
No, I got it. Yeah.
And we were taking all of that money out of the 2,000 that we got from what's her name for the capture and everything.
Well, I assumed we split that money already, right?
I don't know, I didn't add anything. I don't know. Did we split that?
I
among-
did. I added my share.
We each took like 500 gold and one potion, I believe.
All right, no problem.
In that case, this was basically out of my pocket, and that's completely fine. Technically, it's still part of the reward money if you want to look at it that way. So yeah.
Well, after that little bit of an awkward exchange and getting your gold back and getting everything ready, the only other thing I'd like to point out is that, which we don't have to RP it, but he'll kind of pitch a fit that you didn't tell him that one of the riders for the horses was a halfling, because the stirrups are going to need a little bit of an adjustment, so that way his feet can get into the holsters. But that'll just take about 30 minutes to make these adjustments, which from the time that Modar will need to get to the Order of Light and then make it back, this can be done in that process. And we can say that at this point, it is getting pretty late in the afternoon, nearing 3 p.m., as each of you are reconvened, ready to go. The gates are still closed. They're pretty close to the stables, so you could be keeping an eye on that in the meantime as well. But
Yeah, I would stay near the gates pretty much as often as I can. I didn't know that about the holsters. I'm learning so much.
That's a good point, though, and I'll kind of like stick my leg out near hers so she can examine the length. Mine are not nearly as long.
You are really sure?
Yeah, I am.
and while you two are comparing leg sizes, you'll hear a call from the top of the wall. All clear. All right, test the gates. And as you begin to hear like a them kind of turning these wheels as these chains move, propelling the doors open, it'll be moving quite slowly, and you can see each of the guards having a bit of strain on their faces as they're doing so. And as the doors do open, you'll see little bits of remnants of cobwebs falling. What lays before you as the doors do open to about like half capacity, you'll see the remnants of the webs that line the road. No one outside of the southern gate. All right. Everyone, begin to make your way out and try to clean this shit up a bit. It's gonna take all fucking day. At least the doors are open.
Oh. What a relief.
At least we can get out when we want to head out now.
Please note, however, that the drow has attacked recently, and if they're still around and see someone like me leave the town, it becomes easy pickings. So I would say, hold your breath.
When we go to leave Alencia, just before we get to the, or better yet, before even we leave the tavern, I'll kind come to me and I'll do something. We'll make it so that they don't
Oh.
notice you.
Can you do that?
Well, at least for a while, I can make you invisible. So someone else will
Yes.
just have to carry your horse, or lead your horse. But
But you can't attack anyone or reveal you.
true, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I found that out.
Probably be weird to leave the town with 3 horses, a moose, and apparently an invisible rider.
I mean, we can walk out of the town, lead them out of the town on foot, and
Well, the point is, like, as soon as they see me with the gates open, then invisibility means nothing.
true. But if we get you out of town unnoticed and they know you're in town, if they're watching the gates and don't specifically see you leave, might buy a little bit of time before they realize that you have left.
Alright, I think you should let the gods know beforehand.
I was gonna say you probably come with us while we do it, and just we walk as a group in the middle of us.
Alright, sure.
That was my thought. I didn't know if you had a.
Now it's just hard to wrap my head around this invisibility.
Around this time, Modar, this is when you would be returning. So you'll see that the horses at the stables, 3 of them being at the ready, and you'll see the stable master being quite off-put on trying to figure out how exactly to get these the saddle placed upon the moose, and with it being quite of a giving like an aggravated like bucking manner, eventually he'll get it secured, and you'll see the rest of the group conversing.
Really, Zanashi, you're going with the moose.
Poor Zanashi's catching more shit for the moose than other stuff that she's done in the past.
No one knows about other stuff.
Well, being like hot-tempered and stuff is what I didn't want to say, like, you know, what we all obviously know as players and like, you know, all that kind of stuff, but you get it.
All right, well, it appears I believe everything has been taken care of.
I need to
Togo,
try and.
have you said your goodbyes?
I haven't yet. I was gonna try and find her, hoping she was in the tavern here. I was hoping I could head back to the tavern and she would be there for so I could say goodbye before I leave and fulfill my promise to Dilsey.
Ah, yes. Well, if you do sell her, make sure you get a good price.
Will do. I'll split it with you if I get a good one. Anyways, I would head back to the tavern, hopefully, to find her there.
All right, while you're on the way, give me a perception check.
I
Okay.
do not notice anything.
And after arriving to the Keen Spider's Tavern, you will realize that Novice is not there. But while you wait for a few moments, about 10-15 minutes that seem to take hours, they do pass, and she will make her way in. And when you see her making her way in, you'll see her carrying a wicker basket with a cloth laid over the top. You can see a few bumps from the cloth. It's obviously covering something within the basket.
When
Ah,
I see her come in, I'll run up and
I was
try.
hoping to catch you here. Here, I got this for you. This is a bit of a parting gift.
I'll take the basket and uncover the top cloth.
Inside, you can see a variety of pastries and other little sweet snacks. I thought that each of you might like this. It isn't quite so nice to be able to have these luxuries out on the road.
I'm like, uh, I'll kind of pull her in, give her a hug. Thank you so much. Everyone will appreciate this. We were actually trying to head out, and I was waiting for you to say goodbye before I left town. But I did promise Dilsey that I would tell you that he would love to have you sing here for a couple nights if you're interested. And he'd give you free room and food, the arrangement I had. But I don't know if that's something that you would want, but Dilsey was quite insistent that you were fantastic last night.
Well, if it's something that I can do for some extra coin or the room, then I might partake. But he is aware as she kind of like lifts up her hands. Like, I can't play, and well, I could only sing. So, if he perhaps knows other musicians,
I am sure Dilsey could find somebody, but he was very excited to when I said that you weren't leaving south with us, that he wanted you to potentially stay for a while. So I'm just telling you, I know you were thinking about going north to Vala or waiting for a group or waiting to stay here, but options, you know.
yes, I will give it some thought and perhaps and take him up on the offer. Can you roll me a history check, please? So as she's asking like the questions of like knowing the musicians and things of that manner, you'll remember your arrival when you had first made your way into the Keen Spiders Tavern and the awful
Oh
musicians that
yeah,
he had playing in his establishment.
I had remembered them, but I didn't want to suggest that actually.
Okay, just for a friendly reminder.
No. I definitely remembered that he had some terrible musicians that he knew, but I figured I would let
Let her find that out the hard way. Got it.
yeah.
Well,
Because I like Dilsey. He is a good guy.
well, if, I hope you find those treats to your liking. I wish I could afford more, but perhaps you all are used to sharing such little treasures.
Well, I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
She'll give you a bit of a hug, and as she does, patting her hands on your back, she will kind of just say softly, oh, you take care of yourself, Togo, and I'll see you you make it back to Vala. And if I'm still here in Moga, I'll see you even before then, right?
Yeah. I'm sure we'll come back through the city this way. Or come back to the city when we go back north. But you take care now.
And as she lets you go, you'll see Dilsey kind of polishing a mug, and he'll give you a wave and a smile, repeating the process of these random hand signals that he's given you many times before.
I'll start doing the Macarena and then like slap my face a couple times and give him a wink and then walk out the door.
You know that doesn't mean anything, right? And as you walk out, seeing like while the door closes, Dilsey approaching Nalvis and beginning a conversation. Soon enough, you can make your way back, meeting each of your comrades with the horses, the moose with your saddles all ready to, and with their bags of feed laid upon them as well. And everything seems to be secured for each of you to hit the road.
All right. You guys ready to head out?
I believe so. Yes.
If y'all insist.
Yes.
Do you want me to cast that spell, Alencia? Or do you want to take our chances with leaving with you in full visibility?
I feel like it would be inevitable either way.
Okay. I won't cast it on you without your consent, but
Right. Part of me wishes to just let it happen and then take care of it when it gets there.
okay. No, nod at that, and I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, with that, as you all begin to make your way to the gates, you'll see the same individual that you did before that's been shouting orders. The door's still open, and if he'll just turn and say, "Y'all taking your leave? Well, good luck to you. Safe travels." And give you a bit of like a salute as you head out of the city of Moga.
I'll give it a deep bow and then head out.
I'll smile and wave.
Same.
Well, as you
I'll
all,
just walk out.
sorry, bud. Just as everyone kind of walks out, making their way out of the city of Moga, as you make your way past where the farmlands are, leading the horses out, and then eventually taking mounts and then riding them off into the distance, you'll see that each of these farm pastures that are on the southern end of the city are all covered in webs as well. You'll see farmhands and other laborers attempting to remove the webs without damaging the crops. As each of you make your way by, they don't seem to pay too much of a mind to you. Eventually coming to a crossroads, one pointing to the southwest to the city of Haywood, and one to the south that says Meadow. Assuming that each of you are going to continue south on the main road,
Yes.
each of you will make it to about here before the sun begins to set. the road being quite calm along the travels, and it feeling quite nice to have made such a great distance with the amount of daylight you had left to travel. But with the road having some trees along the side of it, being mostly clear, finding yourselves to be in a nice open plain area, you do find a couple of nice trees that will give you all a nice bit of shade for the morning. Finding it a nice area to make camp, each of you prepare for the night ahead.
Yeah, and does it seem like the horses have been eating along the way? Are they looking like we need to use the feed right now, or are they grazing and eating and
At
looking?
like just like a normal pace while you're riding them, they will not graze. But when you like give them like get off and then like kind of like tie them up to like trees, taking care of like whatever you need to take care of, you will see them beginning to nibble. But having a whole day of riding, um, well, I wouldn't say a whole day. I would say a little less than half a day of riding. Like you'll know that they haven't grazed in that time.
All right.
I'm going to hunt.
Okay. And the rest of you setting up tents, campfire, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Looking over the horses.
All right, Elencia, taking care of the food.
Yeah, I will feed my own horse, and I will cook up some platypus.
Okay. So Zanashi, I need a survival check. Togo, I need an animal handling. Modar, I need a survival check from you at advantage. And Alencia, I need your cooking utensils check. I believe at this point would be at advantage.
What am I doing the survival check? Well, to find out if I need to feed the animals.
No. For like setting up like your tent and everything, but you've done it enough time collecting campfire wood that I feel like it's worthy of advantage at this point. Since everyone seems to have their own individual task, which is why I'm asking for it.
Yeah, I didn't make a macro for it. What is cooking utensils use?
It's a D20 plus your dex and proficiency.
Okay.
Okay, nicely cooked meal.
What is the micro on B&B Beyond for the advantage again?
I believe it's shift click.
Shift? Yeah.
So, Zanashi, when I rolled this, I kind of giggled thinking about stuff that happened prior. But you'll find two medium-sized boars for while you're hunting.
I know what you laugh for.
Yeah, exactly. That's what made me giggle when I saw it on the table. Togo, you can take care of the animals quite easily. Alencia, the food comes out quite nicely. Modar, you set up the two tents, get your campfire, all that stuff, no problem. Everything for your night goes off, or for setting up camp, I'll say, goes off without a hitch. So I still have to make the rolls for the night. So,
once the camp is set up, I would like to spend an hour ritually casting Find Familiar. An hour and 10 minutes, if I have that much time still after setting up the camp.
Yeah, each of you have kind of taken around like an hour and a half to 2 hours because with Zanashi hunting and everything in the past, I've been trying to just like call the camp times at the same amount of times you guys set forth previously, and going from there, unless anything gets changed.
All right.
So, you'll have enough time to get that done. So I do believe that will, it does require some material components that get consumed, but...
Correct, yes. The charcoal herbs and essence, 10 gold worth.
Okay. So what I will say is, Zanashi, as you're pulling back the two medium-sized wild boars that you have found on your hunt, you'll see this plume of smoke in here, just like a coming from where you know of to have left the group.
I'm gonna continue heading for it.
And once making your arrival, Modar, do you have a familiar that you had in mind?
The owl.
Okay. Any specific flavor, coloring, any things like that that you'd want to add?
With this one, it would probably it would be like a snow owl, very white and yeah, just because to kind of remind him of home, all of the cold weather creatures and stuff like that from up there.
Got it. And as like the plume of smoke kind of clears and you kind of get that eyesight, Zanashi, you'll see that the snow owl like kind of just flaps its wings, perching itself on Modar's shoulder.
Well, Zanashi, it looks like your hunt was successful.
Isn't it always?
I suppose.
Valencia, I brought you something to cook.
Oh, what is it?
Couple boar.
And then I will look at my familiar and ask him to see if he can just mind fly around the area and keep an eye for anybody that would be approaching, and alert me if anybody approaches the campsite.
Okay. If there's nothing else that you guys would like to take care of, then I think that this is just a good place to call it. As you guys take your watches, things of that nature, unless everyone feels okay with Modar's owl.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm good.
Same.
Okay. So, as you send the owl up into the air, Modar, and it begins to like flap its wings, making a circle perimeter around the camp, each of you lay your heads down. On the night of, I believe we're still on April 8th. It was a hell of a long day. A lot of stuff to get taken care of, but other than that, all good. Well, with that, is there anything that anyone would like to say or shout out before we get out of here tonight? I know that everyone's got like the holidays and everything looking forward to, so a lot of things are on the side right now until everyone gets back to their normal work weeks. Any super fun things to announce? Anybody?
Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
for sure. I'm gonna have a busy night tomorrow making that chicken and dumplings.
Yes, I'll be waiting for my dumplings.
All you gotta do is drive across the state, man.
You should not put
Deal.
things like that out there. You really shouldn't, Clue, because you never know how many days off this week somebody has to drive across the state. It's only a few hours.
I've got all week. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't even need an
Yeah.
address. I'll just drive around aimlessly. I have enough time.
Out of all of the groups I've played with, I think this is the group that is like physically located the closest. more so than most of the other groups I'm in. Like, people are either across the country or even on different continents.
Yeah, I think so. But if no one has any things other than just saying Happy Thanksgiving and see y'all next week kind of stuff. But affiliates up in the top left corner. You can find the links down below. And I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's session. I am. I don't have any more D&D games, but I'm gonna be streaming like other things during the week. Other than that, everyone have a good holiday. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.